All right, so now we're ready to design our little store card here. And we're gonna, of course, create a component for that so that we can reuse it and make multiple ones in the future if we need to. So let's go ahead and just click this here, use Command C here and go to our components. Let's go ahead over here and paste that in here. Now, of course, it's blending in with the background here, so I'm gonna go ahead and give it a fill of white. Let's click on it and first turn it into a component. So this is a component now, so let's go ahead and add a rectangle inside. I think right here would be good. This is where our image will go. So let's go ahead and actually stretch it to maybe height of 150 pixels. And I'm just going to change the fill to a darker fill here. And then let's go ahead and give this a border radius of 20 as well. Same thing here. Again, for the very first corner, use Alt so that you separate the border radiuses here. If you can't get it right, you can always tweak that from here as well. So I think that looks good. What else do we need in our store card? Let's just go down here. Of course, this will be where the image goes. We need a store name, a dollar per item, turnaround time, and the rating. Let's work on each of those separately. So first, let's start with our store name. That will go here. Duplicate that and do dollar per item. And for now, let's just go ahead and put $0 per item. Remember, this is just a component. In each instance, we will be able to change that and adjust. And I'm going to resize this one to maybe 14. I think that's pretty good. We can probably bring these down just a little bit more so we give more room to our image. Pretty good. Let's go ahead and just duplicate this one here and keep a spacing of 15 from the sides. And let's change this one to 0 days and then use right align for this one so I can stretch this out if I want. We want to use left align here and then go ahead and stretch that out. Use left align, or actually we don't want to stretch it out all the way. We want to just do here. And let's resize this one to maybe 20. That's better. Let's go ahead and duplicate this one up here and do 0 stars, or actually 0. This will be for our rating here. So we can do 0.0. So let's go ahead and just zoom in, and so let's go ahead and create a star for my rating here as well. Again, the beautiful thing about Figma is that you can create a star from the shape tools here. So let's go ahead and draw one while holding shift. Maybe do a size of 25 by 25 and just center that here along with this. Cool. In my star tools, I can go ahead and increase and decrease the count. We're going to keep it at 5. We can go ahead and make the star have a higher ratio or a lower one if we want a sharper. And we can also change the border radius here. Now this is way too much, so what I'm going to do, I don't want to go with the sharp edges that it has right now, so we can go to the side over here and even assign a corner radius using the decimal. So let's do let's try 0.5 here. I think that looks good. Now our star can have multiple states. It can either be just gray like this, it can be half filled, and then maybe it can be fully filled. As an example, in my sketch here, I have a fully filled star, but if I want to have just a half filled star, I can do that too. So why don't we create a component from this, but keep in mind you can't create components inside of another component. So why don't we go ahead and drag this star out of here and then go ahead and just give it a fill of lighter gray here. Maybe do this color is good. Let's create a component right here. Let's go ahead and just zoom in just to see my star here. I'm going to do Command D and then just put that instance inside of my component and create 2 more stars for my other states. So I'm going to name one filled, the other one half filled. filled, and the last one unfilled. So let's for the unfilled one here, let's just leave it as it is. So for the half filled one, let's go ahead and give it a color of gold here. Let's just go ahead and create some sort of kind of gold color here. Of course, I can't see that because it's covered by the filled one. So let's go ahead and just hide this one. And I think something like this would work. I'm just going to copy that hex and apply it to the other one as well. So the filled one works, unfilled one works, and then we just want to do the half filled one. So let's take advantage of of the Boolean groups by creating a rectangle here over the star like this. First, let's change the rectangle's color to this color right here with a hex code of just 6Ds, and then choose the rectangle and the half filled shape. And using our Boolean groups, let's click intersect selection. That looks good. So now if I want to use that in here, we'll hold Alt, bring a copy in here. I think that looks pretty good. I just want to go ahead and center this along. Maybe move it a little bit here. Perfect. Cool. I think we're ready to add this to our design. Let's just go ahead and rename it to store card. And let's also rename this one to just star. That looks good. Let's go back to our mockups. And let's go ahead and just delete this square right here. Then go to assets here. And then now you'll see we have this store card here. Let's go ahead and drag it in. Just center it along here. And just go to the layers, and I want to make sure that I add it to my group. Right below, choose laundry store. Alright, so it looks like the background here is completely blending in with the background here. So let's go ahead and select our component or the instance here. Go down to effects, and let's add a drop shadow with maybe a Y of 8. Let's try 10. And let's do a blur of maybe 30, or actually 20 would work. I'm going to drop the radius to maybe, the opacity here to maybe 10%. We're going to do 12. I think that looks good. So let's go ahead and just fill the data here. Let's go ahead and change the store name here to Jack's Laundry. I'm just randomly putting store names here. Let's do a rating of 3.5 and a turnaround time of, let's do 2 days, and then change the dollar per item to maybe, let's do $1 an item. All right, so now we want to put an image in here in this rectangle over here. Let's go ahead and use the tool here, place image. Then let's go ahead and choose images, store cards, and I'm just going to go ahead and choose one of these images here. This one looks good. And now if I hover over a certain object or shape here, such as this rectangle, and I click, it will go ahead and actually put that image inside of that rectangle. So now let's go ahead and just duplicate this 2 times. One's going to go over here, and the other one's going to go on the other side here. Let me just hide my profile frame here just so that we can edit this. I'm just going to rename this to Rose's Laundry. Let's do, and then give it a rating of 4.5. And then we can change the star here by selecting it. And now if we click into that, we can actually go ahead and choose which one we're showing. Right now we're showing this intersect one, but let's go ahead and hide that and do a filled one. Let's maybe change the turnaround time to 1 day, and then do $1.20 an item. Let's go to this one here too and change it to Bob's Laundry. Give it a star of, I don't know, let's do 2.5. Change the turnaround time to maybe 3 days, and then change the star here by hiding my other 2 to the unfilled, and then change the price to maybe, I don't know, 80 cents an item. So to replace these images, you can just go ahead and double click, go to the image here, and then do choose image. Let's do another image. There we go. And then just close that and then do this one here. Choose image. And then let's choose this one. There we go. So now we're going to go ahead and just place these into our frame here. Go ahead and have both selected and then drag them into the request and then into the group. And then while we have them selected, let's go ahead and just constrain the proportions and change them to maybe 255. Or actually, we can even do 245. Just move them around. The other one here, just make sure it has the same spacing. Let's select all three of these and make sure they're vertically aligned. And it looks like they are. Lastly, I'm going to go ahead and just decrease the shadow on this one to do maybe a Y of 5 and a blur of 10. Maybe just choose an opacity of 6% instead, and same thing here. I think that looks good. We can even actually go ahead and bring this refresh icon to up here and have it join the rest of the group here. There we go. I think that looks better. Get rid of that circle, and I think that looks better. So there we have it. That's our request page. Before I forget to do so, I'm going to go ahead and, well, first let's go ahead and just collapse the request page and the map page here. I'm going to go to the services page and just make sure it's also collapsed. I'm going to go ahead and just unhide my profile page. Cool. So now I think we're ready to jump into our next pages here.